Howdy folks, welcome back to Small Farm Guys. Today we're standing behind the Kubota SVL75-2 and we're going to do the fuel filter on it. We got 250 hours, so I recommend doing your fuel filter. So we're going to go ahead and do the fuel filter. We got the Kubota part number. Okay, that's as long as they gave us the right filter, and we'll find out the hard way. But generally we get the right filter. Okay, so that's the filter number. First thing we're going to start with is we got to get the 3/4 inch socket, and we got to unbolt the radiator and then roll it forward. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. All right, don't lose your bolts. I'm sure they're ungodly expensive to replace. All right, so we have to we got to roll this radiator forward. So the first step, you got to get your hose out of its clamp here. Don't mind the light. Be careful with this, and then this thing should roll forward. You got to slide this thing out. It's been a while since I've done this. Slide this thing out. Watch to make sure you're not catching on anything. Grab your little handles here. Roll this thing forward, and then she tilts right out of your way. And your fuel filter is right here. Your oil filter's down here, and your water separator's right here. So while you're in here, it's a good idea to check your V-pelt tension, which this looks pretty good. So that should be good. So we'll go ahead and go get our fuel filter wrench, and we'll get back at you. All right, so we got the filter wrench on there, so now just go ahead and break it loose and take the filter off. I put a bucket under here because odds are diesel will drop down, so you want to be able to catch it. You don't want all that going in your machine, even though you can wash it out, but it's easier just to collect most of it before you have to wash. And there's not much room in here, so it's little by little. And it'd be great if they did a little bit better of a job of making filters, because this thing is really flexing. Make sure your wrench still stays on there. All right. Hand me that bad boy. Hand me that bad boy. All right, now we're in a cab. Just turn this thing on. Let it sit here for a minute. If you can, have somebody stand in the back and just make sure it doesn't leak while you're filling it. That would solve most of your problems. So we'll just let it sit here and wait. You know, they just say leave your key in the on position, let it fill up the filter. Because Kubota is supposed to have a self-priming system, so it should purge all the air for you. So they say. We'll find out if that's true. And I can actually hear the fuel pump still running, so technically I think it should shut off, but not 100% sure, so we'll find. Alright, well, I've been running it for about 2 minutes now, so we're going to go ahead and fire it up and find out if it's fully primed or not. Well, it's running and it's longer than 1 to 2 seconds, or 3 to 4 seconds, so sounds like we might be good. So we'll get back to you. We'll show you how to reassemble everything. So stay tuned. All right, so right now, after running it, I ran it for about 15-20 seconds. We're going to just go ahead, feel around here, check your fingers, you know, visually look down here, make sure there isn't any fuel leaking. While you're at it, you know, make sure everything looks good under here. You know, your belts are tight. Your fan looks in good condition. Just check the back of your radiator, you know. While you have it open, you might as well check everything. So then, after that, we're going to go ahead, you know, you can check your water fuel separator, which I checked mine before we start, and that ring is still at the bottom, so we're good there. There's no water in the fuel, or not much. So from there, we're going to go ahead and we're going to just do everything in reverse. We're going to push the radiator in. So push in at the bottom. Stand this thing up, push it in. Be careful with it. You don't want to crush stuff. Get your hose back up in its holder. Get that hose back in there, and then push your radiator back in. Make sure your hoses are not being pinched, nothing, everything's good. Okay, so now we get that radiator back in. Once that's in, you got your 3 bolts. Go ahead and put them in and re-tighten them down. All right, and if you guys are wondering, that's a 3/4 inch socket. I'm pretty sure I forgot to remember that or say that at the front, but there you go. It's a 3/4 inch socket. So make sure you get your radiator back and tightened down, because you don't want your bolts to vibrate out and then your radiator to be bouncing around in there. All right, so thanks for watching, guys. Stay tuned for more videos. Please comment, like, and subscribe to Small Farm Guys. And we'll see you next time. And now that your fuel filter's done, make sure you take your doggos, get them in the skid, and go give them a ride.